Fuatilia MBCI TV and radio as well across all social media platforms so that you can get to know ahead of time what discussion we're going to be having. Now, for those who follow us, I know you already know the topic that you're going to have and the guest that we have with us today. But before niongele kuhusu hiyo, we keep on saying hapa ndani ya the relationship talk show, it's always a chance for us to learn and relearn. Now, over the weekend, I came across a very interesting story that I would like to share with us today. And I'm hoping the lessons that you're going to pick, we said not just listening, we implement in our everyday life so that we can see change. Okay, it's always a process of transformation. It happen kila siku, and you have to be willing to put in the work for it to work out. Okay, amazing. So this story is about a particular girl. Let's call her Naomi, not her actual name. Okay, so Naomi, wacha niseme, she's a modern girl. She's living in town, she's working, she's trying to juggle everything from friendship to trying to kuomoka. And I know many of us to your point whereby unajaribu kusi how will things work out for your good. Okay, so this is where Naomi is at. Kuna kazi, and her work was very intense in a way that it demanded a lot of her time, a lot of her energy, a lot of her effort. She's trying friendship, amejaribu biashara on this other end, like a lot, but things were not working out. Okay, so each and every time she would sit, ile time yenye unafanya self reflection, unajiuliza, where am I going, what am I doing, am I fulfilling my purpose, am I niko tu, am I just existing? Now each and every time she will do those, she will have those moments of self reflection, it was always the same thing. It was always problems and so many problems. Like alikuwa anaona tu an endless tale of problems. Anajiuliza, nitawahi wezana kweli with all these problems tailing me? Until one day, while she was at work, she collapsed. Sawa? When she collapsed, they took her to hospital. And after they got to hospital, ikasemekana she had a chronic illness. Sawa? And she couldn't literally do anything. Like alikuwa naamka, anakatuka bed, she was just bedridden. She would wake up, eat, sleep. It was a continuous cycle. And during that moment, aka realize, unaona hiyo kelele ya mashida zake zote mingi zilikuwa zimetulia. Because now she had only one big problem, getting healthy. Okay? So, I know that kwenye tuko saizi, with the current economic times, with the current life that we're living right now, there are so many things that are happening around us. And sorry to say, but on the negative, there are way many, okay? And sometimes it's so tempting to focus on that, we forget about the positive things. Now, I'm not saying for you to ignore your problems, okay? It's impossible for you to ignore them, but don't magnify them, okay? Kwa sababu, there's someone who said somewhere, and I'll quote what they said, you have so many problems until you get sick. Now you have only one problem, getting better. Because without your health, you literally can't do anything. Now, from this story, Naomi, what can we learn? Ama, what have we picked? Ya kwamba, be grateful for the small things, for the small moments. I know sometimes it's tempting to focus on the problems that you're facing. You forget the blessings that you have. But show gratitude even for the simple things, okay? Usingoje wakati tutafika hospitali ndo kwa like, oh Lord, I can't even walk, I can't even eat, I don't have an appetite. Those small things zenye unaona easy ni kawaida. That the fact that you can see, the fact that you can walk, the fact that you can talk, si kawaida, okay? And you need to be grateful even for that. Sawa sawa? Another thing that we can learn is ya kwamba we stop magnifying our problems and making them this big mountain. If you make them a mountain, they will become a mountain and it will be hard for you to climb it, okay? But if you have a positive mindset, if you're very optimistic, unasema, Lord, I know this problem is there, but I know you're a bigger God. And this is just nothing. It'll level and I will walk past it. Okay? So we've talked about be grateful for the simple things. And also, your body is your greatest asset. Sawa? Najua tumeambiwa mara mingi exercise, eat right. Tunaona kama ni story too. But please take it upon yourself to take. It's the temple of the Holy Spirit. Okay? Try take care of your body each and every day. Sawa? The choices that you make, what you eat, what you consume, it's very important that you be careful. Sawa sawa? Amazing. So, that is what we are learning for today. If there are any other lessons that you have picked from the story, please share with us, okay? Now, without further ado, let us talk about what we're going to discuss today. Today we're talking about confronting gender-based violence. Confronting gender-based violence. Now, I know, but the 16 days of activism has Jafika, and we've got November 25th, all the way to December 10th. But it's important for us to start talking about it now because there's a lot happening online. If you're following through, I know you know that each and every day there's always a story that is coming up in gender-based violence. Or alipika ugali, badala ya kupika chapati, maliza yeye amefanya. You know, there are those stories that are there that are really trending on social media. Now I want us to talk about and confront this big thing that is ahead of us: gender-based violence. What is it? Is it possible? Like, I know we've had many stories of women. Is it that men are not going through it, ama they've chosen to take a vow of silence? They're not willing to because of the masculinity bit. Now that's what we want to talk about. That is what we want to discuss today. And with us we have a very, very able guest. Lakini sitaki kumwaga unga kabla sijui venye nasema. Lakini the Kiswahili gurus in the house, tafadhali nisaidieni hapo. So amazing. So maybe a quick run through of what we're going to be doing today. We're going to start with the topic of discussion, that is confronting gender-based violence. We're going to have relationships. We're going to have Did You Know? And today, being an African Tuesday, we're going to have amazing, amazing music. So if you have any African song, African gospel song that you would like us to play for you right here, send your request our way and we'll be having a chance to play it as the show continues. Sawa sawa? Now let us get the question of the day that we're going to be interacting with. And the question that we're going to be interacting with is, do you think men can also be victims of gender-based violence? Do you think men can also be victims of gender-based violence? Give us your opinion. Do you think it's possible? Amani story to ni here says. Do that using our number 0721 105 105. That is WhatsApp and also normal text message. MBCI TV Facebook page down in the comment section, and MBCI YouTube official down in the comment section. And as we continue with the conversation, we'll be having a chance to look at the feedback. And if you are a man, you have experienced it, you can also share with us, okay? The platform is open, and also if you want to remain anonymous, we don't have to say your name. Sawa? You can just share your story and tell us, don't say my name and I won't say your name. Sawa sawa? Let us share this story so that we can be able to encourage one another. That is how someone else's lives might be touched. Maybe someone is going through it and they're not willing to acknowledge it. Maybe through your story, healing will be achieved. So, we'll see, hold back, share. This is where you open up. Sawa? It's a safe space for you to open up. Amazing. So without further ado, let us get the guest profile so that we can know who we have with us today, even as we get started.
Dr. Njeri Gachohi is a lecturer at Egerton University in the Department of Psychology and Counseling and has a PhD in counseling psychology. She has specialized in career psychology, has a master's in guidance and counseling from Egerton University, and a bachelor's education science degree from Kenyatta University. She has a long-serving career as a teacher for over 30 years. She is a proficient career counselor and a consultant, an author, a passionate and seasoned speaker, and a facilitator in conferences, workshops, seminars, churches, schools, and colleges. She has a passion for service among students and young people, where she has served as a teacher, counselor, and a mentor in various parachurch ministries such as Fellowship of Christian Unions Focus and Kenya Students Christian Fellowship KSCF. She is currently the Christian Union patron of Egerton University Nakuru Town Campus. Dr. Njeri fellowships at CITAM Nakuru, where she serves as an assembly elder and also in the Fellowship of Elders. She has been a speaker and guest in various radio and TV forums. She is the host and teacher in Marriage Classroom program on MBCI Radio. She is basically three things. She is a teacher, speaker, and a preacher. Dr. Njeri is married to Malungelo Gachohi, and together they are blessed with 2 adult children, Martin and Tabitha, and a grandson, Jasiri. They live in Nakuru, Kenya.
Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, MBCI family, the Relationship Talk Show family, I introduce to you Dr. Njeri Gachohi. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Very, very fine.
It's amazing to have you here.
I'm happy also to be here.
Yes.
Yes.
You're looking very radiant this morning.
Thank you. The day was sunny. I think the sun came up very early in the morning.
Yeah, and it gave you the glow.
Yeah, it's very. Then again, as you said, also to be grateful, alive and well.
Very true.
Yes, so every reason to be grateful.
It takes the hand of God.
True.
Here.
Yes,
wow. Yes. Amazing. You're not new to MBCI.
I am not.
We've had a show, a very amazing show, the Marriage Classroom, that taught so many people. Up until date, we still have people giving in their testimonials of how the Marriage Classroom transformed how their perspective on relationships, their view on marriage.
Yes.
And others have even gotten into the institution with so much knowledge, because marriage is the institution. I think I'll quote what you've always said: marriage is an institution where you get in, you receive the certificate first
before you have even any knowledge or practice or training.
But you get into it, and then there's a whole lot happening. So you're giving people guidance before they get into it, which is really, really amazing. So today we're talking about confronting gender-based violence. It is an issue that has been discussed severally. Now there's a lot happening.
A lot.
And ukiangalia the past couple of years, kumekuwa na very high cases of issues like femicide that are as a result of gender-based violence. Now maybe we can start from that, defining what gender-based violence is, even as we look at some of the most common forms of gender-based violence.
I think when we talk about gender-based violence, sometimes people think gender means women. But gender is just a way of trying to classify the different forms of, gender when we talk about male and female. And so when you're talking about gender-based violence, we're talking about violence that is instigated or it's directed to one part of the gender, whether it's male or female, and it is the one, it's perpetrated by one of the genders. What we are saying is, when we're talking about gender, it means it is a lady against a man, or a man against a woman. And in that way, because somehow we do not classify any other, like if you ever fought with your girl, with your friend, we can't call it gender-based violence. It is usually because it is one gender against the other. And somehow in a situation where one gender seems to have an upper hand or is taking up an upper hand, we are calling, like when you talk about like a top dog and another dog. So in that way, one of them is disadvantaged, and in that way we can say one has been violated. That's more like what I can say. I know there are many other definitions, but I think the simple understanding is where we have one of the gender instigating violence on the other, or defrauding, whichever form of violence, because it doesn't have to be physical. Many other forms, but one of them is at a disadvantage.
Disadvantage from the other. Okay, I think that is a new understanding that many didn't get from that point here. It's one gender against the other. Because now you can't say that because you quarreled with your female friend, that's gender-based violence. No, that's different.
Or your teacher or your mother, that is, that is not gender-based violence.
Amazing. Now from the definition, you've shared that it doesn't have to necessarily be physical, but most of us know when we talk about gender-based violence, they have to come with a black eye, a broken leg, a broken hand. What other forms of gender-based violence are there?
There are many and subtle, and in fact, those are the worst, because that seems to be like what simmers before we go physical. I know most of the time when we really react when we see, as you say, the black eye, maybe the injury and all that. But before we reach there, it goes other. The other current also much, in fact, like the iceberg, we just see the tip on top, but what down there is where it started, because it starts just sometimes by where you find like just people just don't really like feel like they love one another, or like one another. You find, okay, like the time I was talking about the issue of where we are talking about sarcasm, we have passive aggressive behavior, not really like you can enter the house, I don't even care whether you've come in or not, I don't even attend to you. There's that form of neglect, emotional neglect, and that's where it starts, so that you are on your own, you have your day, no one to share with, and so what happens, people just withdraw, and so once we withdraw, that emotional withdrawal, then it can go now to emotional abuse. From there we have issues of where even people can be manipulated with money, financial, like I can use finances to control you, and with that, what happens sometimes, as much as you're not abusing me, but you can leave me, and I know, like I found somebody was saying, is like she's given money, and before she receives it, she just he takes it back again. He say, no, you don't deserve this, and then it's like, and then instead of you don't even deserve 1,000, gives you 100, and like that can meet all your needs, and he goes. Now you are made to feel so bad,
Very true.
and it's like You know, that is even worse than beating, because you see, what you've just made me, it's like, you know, the way you can imagine, now you were saying, this it was, no, just pick. Before she picks, wow. It was
that's bad.
Yeah, now those are the forms that can go. It can even go to where, in fact, if it is when the relationships ends up becoming violent, instead of people, as we say, making love is rape. Even that is still part of violence. But sometimes you don't hear it spoken there. And then that, what you were saying, there's a lot of the psychological abuse that is so bad that makes us go to that extent where we now can go physical, because you've made me feel like I have nothing, I have no power. I get low self-esteem because either there is body shaming, another one was telling me, you know, like the husband would call her scarecrow.
Scarecrow.
Yes, that is the worst of all that I've ever had. And you know, I even
what?
I don't think anyone would have ever
considered even looking your way.
Yes.
What?
No, you can see now that is worse. And now sometimes even by the time people go physical, they will have already made somebody feel like they're nothing.
There's already so much that is happening down here before we get to the point whereby now it's a punch or it's a... And you know, unfortunately, in the current times that we are living in, I've come across so many videos whereby people are, even women themselves, have come to a point where anasema, mimi, kama unanipenda nichape, nimekosea nipige. Like, that's how I know I'm valued and I'm appreciated. Now maybe we can come to that, the traditional norms that we have. Where is it coming from? This whole issue of normalizing things like being beaten up as a form of love. It was never there. It has never... I don't get it. Where is it stemming from?
It may have some maybe forms of tradition, but I also feel like it is also another sick way of getting attention. Now, check your child sometimes, because it also happens. Sometimes you have this child who feels like he is or she is invisible at home. How do they get your attention? Because there is this good, compliant child who gets, oh, you did so well, you washed the dishes, you know, you did this, and gets all the affirmation, and the parent is like the attention. But now you have this one, we call them sometimes the disruptors, who come in like, you never, you know, because I can't compete with my brother or my sister who seems to do so well, how do I get my parents' attention? I'll do the opposite. So beat up the children, do many things, you know, climb up anywhere, and then it's like, after you have already congratulated one, then there is this one who did wrong, and she gets the attention, or he gets the attention, and so sometimes that are two ways, and one of them looks sickly. This is what sometimes some people are thinking, that if we are really in a relationship, I mean, if I really matter to you, I should anger you. I make you so angry, and you feel like, you know,
you want to beat me up.
You beat me up. That means but if you ignore me and it's like, even though I shout or scream at you, nothing, that can scare. Some people feel like that's the only way to get his attention or her attention. I provoke him until he beats me, and because I know after that you say, oh, I'm so sorry, you made me do it, you know, I never thought that, and then with that you be pampered, either, no, I'm so sorry, I'll even take you out for a for dinner, I'll buy you flowers, you can go for a trip, even that what you had asked I would do, because now he's already like, or she's already so sorry of what he's done, and knowing that can even go further, now wants to cover it up. Now, with that, now it becomes manipulative. And there are people who are using it to that extent, which is so sick, and I don't know
what can be done to
what can be done. Yes.
I think on that issue of manipulation, there are very many terms that have come up. There's gaslighting. There's so many terms that have come up to coin it.
I don't know why they use the word gaslighting and all that.
But all these terms are, let me say, they play a part, especially in that bit of physical, the emotional abuse that later leads to the physical abuse. Now, maybe we can talk about some of these causes that cause maybe to get to the extremes of gender-based violence. What are some of these things that happen that bring us to that point here? Now we're facing like the intense physical kind of violence.
You know what I realize is sometimes when it comes to relationships, they seem to be just like and let me not use the word like an addiction, but I'm saying it is like if you have a plant,
it's a pattern.
You need to keep up something that makes it grow or thrive.
Yeah, true.
And that reminds me maybe out of the fact that we used to have these discussions in MBCI, I found myself thinking, how can I just continue with the discussion? And so there was this thing we were talking about, the marriage discourses, where we say to make marriage thrive, not survive, and to enjoy relationships, not to endure. You know what is happening? We start off a relationship, and then after that we don't want to give in what it takes for a relationship to thrive or to grow. A relationship is something living, just like a plant. It has to be taken care of, it has to be tethered. And so what happens? And guarded. So what do? We seem to think that relationships can go on its own. I will still continue loving you, whatever you do. I'll continue caring for you without even bothering, what we are putting in. So what happens? Now, this, just like a plant, starts withering. Now we are looking for something that is not there. So what we do is we don't make effort. We take a lot of effort to woo somebody. I've seen people go to any extent to get the love of their lives.
Very true.
Even almost get a helicopter. Make that big show of an engagement, and you're calling all your friends, go to your one knee and all that, and the flowers, and even there are some even who hire people to come and dance.
True.
Now, once you've gotten that person, after that, what do?
Unafunga your story.
You nafunga story, and it's like, that's all that matters. Now, why don't we, I'm not saying we go to that extent, but do we know what it takes for that relationship to survive? So what happens? Once now, it becomes cold, then we go on that bora uhai mode.
Bora niko.
Yes,
that's all that
then so one day you wake up and say, "Ata sikufeel." I mean, it's like it's just go. It's like I don't feel like I love you. But the issue is not that you never felt. It's somehow we never wanted to put in what was necessary, because that kind words, that considerate, it being considered. You come in a whole day, it's like, how was your day? Just wanted to know what did it made you happy, what frustrated you, and all that. And with that, it's what we say, nakufeel. And anytime I feel like you care about me, love will always flourish.
Very true.
Yes.
But we're not willing to put in the work to make our relationships work. We want to take a sit back.
Yes, sit back. And then it's like another thing, maybe, I don't know, which I find, and I pray that God may help us. I think we have also brought up our children in a way that it has been themselves. I, myself. I think this word that I'm hearing with relationship, narcissistic personality, it's so evident this time. I don't know why it was not there in our days.
Yeah, but right now it's the talk of the town. They are narcissistic. They don't want to...
I think everyone is narcissistic, even whether it's a lady or a girl. Because I read those stories that you used to hear about love stories. When you hear those songs that I'll climb every mountain, and cross every river and all that. And do you have those gentlemen? Are they there that can go and face a giant to get their Prince Charming? I mean, princess. What we are saying is, do we have those that are ready to do every exploit? They're selfless. But right now, it is I. You come and it's like, you serve me. And so that's why now where it is like, and you serve all my appetites.
Everything that I want.
But let me go on with my life. I can't go out with my buddies. I can watch football anytime. I can play games. When you are there, just cook and give me the food. I'll eat as I watch and not caring whether it's your waiter. What I'm saying is, I think there's a lot of selfishness. And that now being brought in marriage. We want to get married because we want the marriage benefits, but we don't want to know what it takes to have a marriage or a relationship working.
Wow.
And that's why, as much as we know we have AI and Google, I want to tell you, marriages is not going to be on AI, not even on AI generate. I mean, generative AI.
It's not going to be that. You have to be willing to learn what it takes.
Yes.
And we have to get rid of this issue of being selfless. I know kuna so many self-proclaimed influencers and on platforms like TikTok who tell you, choose yourself, value yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good to do all that, but sometimes you feed yourself that narcissistic thing whereby if something doesn't work for you, you're not willing to sit and talk about it. It's not mine.
It's not.
I'm done with it. Just
here
go.
it's not. I think my man girl is what. I guess it's like you don't even want to get bothered about somebody or something.
Like attachments. There's this issue that people are saying rule number 5 that you have to always stay detached. But now my question is, how do you get into a relationship without getting attached to someone else?
That is
wrong information that is being spread online. So that's why again we keep on insisting, even as you're consuming content online, you need to be very careful the kind of content that you consume, because it could either build you or break you. So very important. So there's a couple of videos that we prepared of people sharing their experiences of gender-based violence, so that you can be able to understand how far deep it goes and how important it is for us to be keen. Do not ignore these things, okay? Just because it's not in your household, I'm in your homestead, and it has nothing to do with me. You never know what the future holds, okay? And I'm not saying this kukushtua, no, but it's important to be in the know, to have the knowledge, to have the know-how, so that if things like this happen, you have the right ways to deal with them, okay? So let us get that particular video so that we can be able to hear those testimonials from people who have been survivors of gender-based violence, and then we're going to get back and continue with the discussion.
Alinitoa hapa kwa nyumba, akinipeleka huko nje eti anichapa watu wakiona. Sasa hapo pia mimi nilichukua fimbo nikamkata hapa na kwa shingo.
Ni nini unaogopa sana kinaweza kufanyikia ama kufanyikia watoto?
Anaweza niua ama anaweza ua mtoto wangu. Juu kuna wakati alikuwa anapiga Mary akamshikia kisu.
Kitu alitoka nao jikoni ni kisu. So ikabidi nimefunga hiyo mlango wa bedroom na nika-involve wazazi. Sasa ndo nikawapigia nikawaambia huku si kuzuri, wanitumanishie mtu anitoe kwa nyumba. Na siku nataka kulea watoto kando na kwao. So nilikuwa najua ni kuvumilia, bora tumelea watoto.
She was in 2 pieces, a head and the body. That's the situation I saw my daughter in.
Tiffany was a 30-year-old Kenyan police officer and mother of 2 who police say was murdered by her husband in 2024, a charge he denies. Her case is only one of many. That year, Kenya had 127 cases of femicide, according to the Silencing Women database, the highest in almost a decade, leading to nationwide protests.
She was very friendly, very jovial. We really have a big gap.
This General Service Unit uniform, where she was recruited to. I'm a police officer. As a father, I was really happy to find somebody who follows your footsteps. Tiffany's funeral was the most difficult day that I have experienced in my life.
At Gender Desk, every day we get a story. It's a bit overwhelming. The community depends on us.
There is defilement, there is rape, women are battered. Those are the cases we handle at the Gender Desk. There was this case, a lady police officer who was being sexually harassed by a senior officer. Most officers, they may not come out openly to report that have been assaulted or have been sexually harassed. There is that fear that maybe it will affect your workstation, it will affect the relationship.
Wow. Okay, that video has a lot. We've heard of cases whereby hadi mtoto anakuwa threatened in such a situation whereby there's knives involved. We've witnessed someone has died because of the same. So gender-based violence is not something that we can just keep quiet and let it roam by. We need to keep amplifying, we need to keep on speaking, we need to keep on sharing these stories so that we can be able to find healing. That's the only way we're going to identify the loopholes, and we try tame them as soon as now. We don't want the next generation to emulate such things, okay? So maybe, Dr. Gachohi, we can talk about the videos we've just watched of one of a couple of women who faced physical violence to points of using knives and things like that. And we've also heard of one who actually unfortunately died because of the same. And then another one has brought about the issue of sexual harassment and the fact that there's always a gender violence-based case reported each and every single day. That is 365 days in a year. There's always a case. Maybe we can just talk about that.
Yeah, now, what we're saying is by the time the police or it's reported, now you can hear what their cases are: rape, defilement, and maybe the issue of maybe somebody has been injured and all that. So by the time it reaches there, I'm saying there are other undercurrents that are not being addressed. Now, this is just what we are calling the outburst. This is what is the violent action. But I believe that it's not just one person who wakes up and today say, I'm going to finish you. It starts even by a word. One of these days, me nitakumaliza. Okay? So it is never like I wake up and take a knife, just that. It has always like, one, it's a threat, sometimes it is, but then you realize it becomes gradual and gradual. By the time now it's a slap, a kick, the next time is, I will do more. It seems to escalate or seem to be getting more intense. And so sometimes we are hoping that he will change, she will change, she will be remorseful, and once they apologize, sorry, they have apologized and say, I will never do it again. We think, now they will never, or they promised they will not. But the issue is this: what is the underlying thing? What is fueling this violence? Because you see, you realize there are people either somehow that's the only way, or how they know to solve a problem.
Very true.
They become physical or they become verbally abusive. And so what happens is that there's that part of where we've not understood, have not come to help people solve issues before the conflict goes escalation. Sometimes, or it escalates. Because sometimes, even some of these, what we call manders, love manders, sometimes it's an issue of where there is either some, thoughts of infidelity, or somebody is thinking you're cheating on me, or know that, or there could even be evidence, there could be, and it escalate up to the time now I feel like this is too much. I think we can see whether help can be there before, because I don't know, we cannot just be, I keep saying it's like a village that used to pick up dead bodies of children downstream. And so all that they were busy doing is every day go to the river, because they expect at least there will be a child floating downstream, and then they go and give them a decent burial. And so they did so well, and they had a good graveyard. But one day somebody said, just wait a minute, we need to know who is throwing the children upstream. And so they had to journey up there, only to realize this was never, it was not like somebody was murdering, just a minute. I mean, it's not like, it was like there was a ritual that used to happen at the time where it was like a sacrifice to the children, or some of them who, once you get a twin, you get rid of one. So somehow now you see these people needed to be educated to know, and yet they were feeling like, and they were, it's normal for them, but for you downstream, it is not normal. So I'm saying, can we see whether we can go upstream and realize what actually is causing all this? Could there be some underlying things that either as a society we have ignored? Why do we have the sudden rise? Could there be some situations in the family now that are there now with the issue of the economic times that also is making it so unbearable?
True.
And with that, where I'm so tired, I come home so drained, emotionally and all that. I have looked for work, I don't have, then you hear ranting telling me, now mwanamume kama wewe, kwa nini, wengine wanapata wapi pesa, and all of a sudden it's like something snaps. And somebody you just hear, he was such a quiet man. I never thought he can be violent or he could do it. Because you see, I don't think we have now, can say we have a real profile. Or what you call, like the way you say criminal profiling. And say this
people
one,
who look like this.
Yeah, if you're married and you're in a relationship, keep of this person. Looks like this, like they would say this is how a criminal looks like. No, it is somebody looking as, you know, as smart as you or me.
Very true.
And something can just snap. And so we are saying, what would help us? And I think when we're talking about issues of mental health, we cannot
ignore that.
Ignore it in the issue of gender-based violence. Yes.
Another we're talking about the issue of mental health. I think it's still a topic that most people are finding hard to embrace. But with these talks, with the awareness campaigns, we're beginning to understand and incorporate it in our everyday life. People are embracing therapy. People are willing to go seek counseling because it's important for us to be well mentally. Because if you're not well mentally, you won't be able to be effective in all these other areas of your life.
Because you see, we almost think that, you know, somebody was like, if you're thinking about a mentally ill person, it's that unkept person. It is that one who is, you know, talking to himself, muttering to himself, you know, just very dirty and all that. And that's the profile we always had over Mogoroki.
True.
But let me tell you, I was telling somebody, and it's true now, that you might even be safer with that Mogoroki who is muttering to himself, dirty and all that, minding his own business. Than with a sane person today and tomorrow you don't know. Because what is awash in our news today, every evening, is so-and-so left job, went, did this and this. No, and everyone is saying, na tulikuwa naye jana.
Alikuwa tu sawa.
Alikuwa tu sawa. Hata alikuja hapa. We had an issue where somebody said, hata nimi nimshuka kwa saloon.
Why?
Okay? And then you find that, then the next time you're talking about Akira Cop. I mean, it happened just within Nakuru. Somebody is saying, even I'm the one who carried her with a motorbike. But if you look at that, even though we labored and we use that word, killer cop, did she look like killer cop? I know that is a story that we know, it has been there in our media.
True.
But those people who knew Caroline, would say she was not capable of doing that.
Such a thing.
But you look at what was in what she was carrying. There was a lot that was at the line. It could have been at the place of work. It could have been at home. It could have been in relationships. And so all that can culminate one day, and there is a snapping. And once we snap, now wachana kusema Mugoroki wa Madhare. In one of us, unless we know the triggers, because this is where we say mental health is where are you able to what do you call it, you know, be able to sort out the normal stresses of the day. Once it reaches to the fact that now you find they are overwhelming, please seek help. Yes.
Go seek therapy.
Just seek therapy, because sometimes you will realize you can do things you never thought you can ever do. And after that, you just don't believe I did it.
And you cannot take it back. The moment you've done
take it back. Because violence now, once you see you got angry, hurt somebody, or as you pushed her, hit the wall, she's dead. Now that is murder.
And you can't take it back. That's
and
it.
it cannot be of that. So that's why I'm saying I think there are quite some things that we may need to interrogate further. What is actually is the one which is making people reach that breaking point.
Wow. And from the video that we've watched, many of the stories that we've heard of are stories of women, but we know that also men do face these things. But even as we were doing the research, we couldn't find enough statistics to show whether men are actually going through this. Now, why would you say men shy away from sharing, remain silent?
That somehow has to do with the society, the way it views violence. Because somehow we feel like the man should be the perpetrator, not the victim.
Very true.
So the issue of stigma is something that makes men shy away from saying I'm being abused. And because for them, it's worse. It's the other type, the subtle abuse. Because for women, cry out when they are hit. Okay?
Yeah, they seek help.
But before umegongwa, there was a lot of some bullets that were there
They were being shot
that were, you know, from the mouth. Because women are very good with bullets. Of the mouth. So you are there just like, you know, sorry, there was a case of a neighborhood. And somehow it was a time when you hear, then she's talking and talking. And then the man is just saying, nimekwambia unyamaze. Then after that, she's not stopping. And you know, it's during the night. Now people are quite hearing and all that. And so sometimes you reach and you hear, so there's some so in that time it's like she's in shock, and then after that, and then all that you see, and now people would now react to that or violence, which I'm not saying is right. But this is another one who has been firing her own bullets with bad word, and words hurt.
Very true. They go deep.
They hurt and they go deep. In fact, I believe there are times I don't know. I can't remember the many strokes I was beaten in school. I was a bit mischievous, so and mischief yangu more was on noise making. I think I was beaten in school more and punished more because of noise making, and I don't know why it is a crime.
It pays people now. The people
it pays
get
people.
Paid
Yes. I was demoted even in Standard 4 from being a prefect because I was told using that big word as a ringleader. I was a ringleader of noisemakers. Okay. Now what I want to say is this: I forgive. I don't know. I don't have any bad feelings of people who beat me and all that, or the teachers. But anyone or the ones that were said, even though they don't hurt right now, somehow I remember them.
Especially the bad ones.
Yes, like one teacher who said, "You are dead and stinking. Only highness missing to eat you up." Very unfortunate. I'm a teacher, but those are words I've never, and I can almost say them again,
word for word.
I can even sometimes add the accent of the teacher, which I don't want to, so that you don't know from which region he comes from. But he was so mad and angry that you had failed the physics paper and made us kneel down and started abusing us.
That's bad.
Dead, and we were dead and stinking. Not only stinking.
What?
We were dead but stinking, and then hyenas were missing. Tweet us up. I don't know even where he got all that. But I want to tell you that I think I laugh, but it was bad that time.
It was painful.
It was painful. And I think maybe I was good in physics, but I just said, I think I don't want to do that. Yes, I did chemistry. So you can see how words can. So I'm saying, you can imagine a relationship where a man is abused daily. Tried to be like you are compared, paralleled, we ni mwanaume wa aina gani, kwani wengine wanapatanga kazi wapi, kwani wao ndio wanakorokota pesa we uoni, I mean kwani macho yako hayoni pesa ile wanaona. You know, when you are those words, if they continue, then what happens? It's even worse than the bullet. It is going right to the soul. Yes.
And this is coming from someone you love and appreciate. So that builds up.
It builds up and it's like, it builds resentment, anger, bitterness, and loathing. So by the time it goes now physical, it is a boiling up.
Now maybe you can give a comment on the question of the day that we were just looking at. Now maybe we can get it one more time before we get your take on that. And the question is, do you think that men can also be victims of gender-based violence? Like, can it get to that point of now physically? Is it possible for a woman to beat up a man?
If we take the physical violence, I have seen men who have been
beaten up.
And some of them is because, it's possible that you get married to this docile man. And the fact that, because sometimes our background has a lot. Grew up in a family, and maybe you could see how the father was beating the mother. And it's possible to take two sides if you are never helped. If you don't go for help to understand what was wrong in that situation, so that you pick out what is right, you can become either a victim or a perpetrator.
Oh, you can become either one of them.
Yes. You grow up in a situation where there was physical violence and all that. You can either become either of the two.
Yeah.
If you're not helped. Because what happens is, now she's, then because of the way the mother was mistreated and all that, and always feeling like, I wish I would help my mother, and you are there helpless, mnachapa pamoja na mama nyinyote. Then you grew up saying, God, if I ever marry, I will never touch a woman. Okay?
Yeah, I will never beat a woman.
Then what happens? You are there, a loving man, very caring.
Yeah.
And the wife seems to be that type you're saying wachokoza kwa sababu nafikiri kuchapwa ni kupendwa.
Yeah.
So you're there trying to provoke your man, and it's like he just don't want, when it's so steamy and so ugly, he just walks out. Cools down and comes back. And he doesn't even have to drink, but just goes out. You know, he says, let me just leave the situation, and comes back. And then it's like, have you come down? Can we talk? No. Now you don't want to talk and all that because you want provoke. You know, there are those who just want to provoke.
Yeah.
But this man does not want to provoke. What happens now? It's like, now he is seen to be the weaker one. So this lady can now try to provoke and even push him to see whether he will push back. Have you seen even women who start by slapping the man?
Yeah. And then they're like, do something about
you have slapped me, you have slapped me. And then they're the ones who have started with their first slap. What I want, you can see the issue is this man seems to be being provoked and pushed to the corner. And these are the ones, sometimes they will do some things you would never think they would ever do. Say, he was such a docile man. He was so quiet. But what pushed him to that? So men can really be abused, and I've seen quite a number. And sometimes it's not because that's what they want. Yeah. But anytime, it's because either some of them just don't want to do it. Yeah. Or some of them, they know, if I did it, I know nothing could stop me. So they keep off. So what happens? They are the ones who get her. And even this part of where you have come, it's like, if there's no money, you're not going to eat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That one is definitely
That is still
abuse.
violence. That is abuse. Yes.
Wow, okay.
And even being denied their conjugal rights, you don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Know that you're not a good boy. It's usually a reward system. Good boy, good girl.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so that can also be, that is still abuse.
What? Okay, I think now many of us had put this, myths and misconceptions in our heads about what gender-based violence is and what abuse is. But now I think through this conversation we're getting to understand that it is far deeper, and it requires even the people who are in this marriage, in this relationship, to really do the work to make sure that everything works. They need to work on themselves, make sure that whatever traumas, whatever inner healing that you need is done before you get to this particular point. Otherwise, it will be a continuous cycle that will never come to an end. What? Okay. Wow. Amazing. So let's talk about the community, because we've touched on how the society amefinyilia mwanamume haizi jiongea wakati ambapo go through violence. And there's also this issue of trending women. I don't want to say which region, but nowadays hata ukienda date unauliza wewe ni wa hii region ndo wajue kama unaweza mpiga. Because women from that region are known to beat up men. I don't know how true it is, but we've seen a couple of stories on the same. Now, what role is society playing towards maybe stopping? Is the society helping the situation? Am I making things worse?
The society, just like those ones who just, what I was saying, those who are just burying the children, is very complacent. Again, also the society seems to be like, they have their own expectations. And then there is also some things that they feel like it's normal. That way you go to what you call social, we were calling it, where you're no longer at the alarm stage, you are at this stage where like this happens. Yes, after that is like, even so and so even they did it. It's like you have normalized it because somehow it looks like it's no longer raising the alarm bells. So I think, and it's not that these days, even when you hear a scream, it's like, those are
what's why should be looking at
it's always been happening
like that.
Yes. So sometimes what we do, put on full volume radio and all that, and the TV, so that you do, so you just don't want to listen. You think it is normal.
Yeah, but it's not.
But it's not normal. It's not normal that your neighbors are always screaming, or your children, the children are always running into your, into your house for shelter, and it's like you shelter them for that time until it calms down, and you don't want to go in. So I think that's why the society has reached. Somehow it is no longer my business.
It's not my business. I'm focusing on what concerns me.
Yes. So even though we meet with somebody has a black eye, oh, what happened? Oh, we had. So what are you going to do about it? No one seems to bother. Until you hear something happened. Maybe like, somebody's dead. And have you seen every other time? It's so pathetic, and it makes me feel so sad that the only thing we come, if there is an incident, is to come there. We are ready to go to the TV. Unaona watu wanashindana hapo mbele.
Wanataka kuongea, kupena witness statement.
Huyu mzee amezoea. Kuja.
They didn't say anything before, but now they are fighting.
Kuchapa. Hata last time, this mama amefanya. So they have a good story. And but it's like, yes, they did nothing when it was. Yes. So we're there coming after month, and we want just to appear like we knew about the story, but what did you do about it? And that is also the sad thing. And I'm going back again on the issue of mental health, where we seem to be able to tell the telltale signs after the person has either committed suicide or has done something. So we are there almost saying, even last time, Ali nipea, and I thought, I don't know why he was. Even last time alikuwa naongea, and it's like, she has been withdrawing, she's been alone, I don't know, and all that is like, we seem to know what could have caused this, but did we do anything? That's now our society, where we are. That we know so and so is beaten every night.
Yeah, but we don't do anything.
We know even our daughter, my daughter is having issues, but I keep telling her, vumilia tu. Ndoa ni kuvumilia. Pengine hata diwedi unamkasirisha. It's also even turned on the other side.
Yeah.
It is you.
And it's another form of manipulation as well.
Yes. It could be kuna kitu unamwambia, maybe there is something you're not doing, maybe you're not a submissive wife. It goes to that extent. You'd say you're not submissive. See, unyenyekee and all that. And you try all that and you realize it's not helping.
It's not
because
working.
Anyone wants to get a real reason. Because once spite comes, resentment and all that, it doesn't matter what you do. You can even be the most beautiful woman, or you may be the most handsome man.
Yeah.
But somehow, if I have resented you in my heart, it doesn't matter whether you come and bring me a car.
I'll hate it as well.
I'll still hate it. Yes.
Wow. Okay. We're talking about confronting gender-based violence, and the very first session has really been amazing. Now we're taking a very quick breather right here, but we'll be coming right back to get to learn more from Dr. Njeri Gachohi. So don't go too far.
MBCI Television, transforming lives.
River Mississippi inakaa kukua country gani?
Be careful, huh? Zambia. Zambia.
River Mississippi iko country gani?
Uganda.
Nataka unikamilishie methali. Haba na haba?
Ni pale.
Haba na haba?
Pale.
Nitolee tu sauti ya kichokono kidogo tu.
It's about to go back.
Rudia tena.
Biblia iko na vitabu ngapi?
62. 62.
Kuna hii inaitwa River Mississippi, iko kwa country fulani Afrika. River Mississippi inakaa kama iko country gani?
Ni kama ni Israel. Israel.
Welcome to the outpouring of the latter and former rain, happening from 11th to 15th November 2025, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily at Uhuru Park, Nairobi, Kenya. Brought to you by the Africa Agenda Movement. Guest ministers: Bishop Noel Jones from the U.S., Dr. Cindy Trim from the U.S., Archbishop Harrison Nyanga from Kenya, and Bishop Dunstan Maboya from Tanzania. Hosted by Prophet Stephen and Shala Kariuki. Music ministers: Eunice Njeri, Kestin Mbogo, Pastor Tumaini Akilimali, and Moji Shot Baba. Come and experience the word, healing, miracles, signs and wonders at the outpouring of the latter and former rain. Entry is absolutely free.
If you want to be a photographer, my top tips would be: number one, you just have to be very deliberate about this, very passionate about photography. Number two, just know that much more relies on you. With this I mean you just have to do your homework well. You just have to do a lot of research on photography, learn a lot. Number three, your circle has to be photographers. Energy explained to your circle has to be photographers. Number four, you have to shoot a lot. The best way to be good at photography is to shoot. And last point is trust the process. It might take time, but so long as you're doing the top 4 tips, the fifth one, you trust the process and all will be well. My name is Geshoke Peter Mwediga. You can also call me Geshoke Wabisha. I'm the CEO, photographer, head photographer, artist, Black Gold Photography and Arts Production.
MBCI Television, transforming lives.
Amazing. Welcome back from that very short break. Remember, this is a relationship talk show with me, Sylvia Wanja. And with us today, we have Dr. Njeri Gachohi, and we are talking about confronting gender-based violence. Now, the very first session was really, really amazing. We got to understand the definition of gender-based violence, and we also got to see some of the forms and some of the underlying issues that bring about the extremes that we now hear of. And also our part the part that we play as people in the society kwenye tunaanguka mtihani, whereby we are silent witnesses. Tunangoja tu wakati kuna news ndo tuko like, nilikuwa hapo, niliona, ninajua, but you didn't do anything about it beforehand. We are waiting for the calamity for us now to say we knew. No. We need to figure out a way we can be able to combat it, okay? Amazing. So, maybe you can get the question of the day one more time so that we can know which question we're interacting with today. And the question is, do you think that men can also be victims of gender-based violence? Do you think, in your own opinion, that men can also be victims of gender-based violence? Share with us, and then we'll be having a chance to look at your feedback a little later as we continue with the show. Now, we went outside there and we talked to a couple of people and asked for their opinions concerning the same gender-based violence. And tukawauliza what are some maybe of the reasons ama wanafeel aje kuhusu this particular topic. And now we want to get a chance to hear what they have to say. We want to hear their opinions. And maybe from that we can be able to build more to join nini na happen kwa grao, okay, and to link reality with what we are talking about. So that you can know it's something that's happening every day. Venye tu nilisema before, just because it's not knocking on your door doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Okay, it is there. So let us get to hear the voice of the people.
Mambo ya gender-based violence chenye naletwa ni kutolewana between the two genders. Na the solution chenye nafanya msaidiane ni kuelewana, tuelewana wewe, sisi vile tuko wawili. chenye nafanya ukubali nayo ukubali, hata mimi nikubali. Ndio hii vita ya gender violence tumalize Kenya hii. Tofauti na hiyo, chenye naleta ya pili, hizi vitu zinaitwa drugs. Mostly kwa inaletwa na wanaume. Kama bibi yako akiongea unafaa hata urudi ndio to avoid hizi vitu Kenya hii.
Mambo ya gender violence ni mengi. Ni kama kuanzia mawili matatu hivi. Watu siku hizi wanakorofishana sababu ya uchumi vile zingine iko mbaya. Zingine mke amelala njaa, mzee naye ana kazi. Sasa mzee kurudi jioni nyumbani unampata mama anamuuliza hasa pesa ya chakula iko wapi? Watoto wamelala njaa, school fees hakuna. Mzee anamwambia mimi sina kazi. Mama naye ataelewa. Hapo vita. Kuna labda mzee mama ajibu mzee vibaya. Mume wake naye apata na ile hasira sababu ya stress, pia yeye hana pesa, hana kazi. Vita inaanzia hapo. Ya pili, siku hizi mambo ya social media, simu. Mke labda hii mambo ya media, unaona watu siku hizi watu online sana hizi masimu. Unaona mtu anakaa kwa online kuanzia asubuhi mpaka jioni. Unakuta sasa huyu mama lazima kuna mtu anamuongeleza kwa simu. Katika ile sababu ya kukaa idle, sana vile watu wana kazi. Mama anaongeleshwa na mtu pale. Sangine mzee akuja pale akute mama anaongea na mtu mwingine katika simu, katika message. Mzee tena atoe ile hasira apigana na mke wake. Na pia labda tena mke naye apate mzee naye labda na hii mambo unasikia mpango ya kando katika simu. Pia hapo vita inaanza. So hiyo ndio mambo mengi unakuta gender violence siku hizi ni nyingi. Na kitu kiangalia sana vile uchumi ni mbaya. Ndio makorofishano ni mingi. Sangine vile uchumi unasikia Kenya uchumi si mzuri, mtu hana kazi. Na pia mambo ya wamama kuchochewa kule nje na mama wenzao kuhusu boma za wengine. So unakuta mama anasema ule mama mwingine ako na hii, mimi sina hii. Naye anaita kwake nyumbani anaambia mzee, unaona mama fulani amenunua TV kubwa. Amenunua nguo nzuri. Hata sasa tunapelekea mambo ya Christmas. Utakuta watu sasa kwa Christmas wanakosana sana sababu utasikia mimi sina nguo ya Christmas. Sina pesa ya Christmas, wengine watakula mbuzi, wengine watakula chapati, na wengine naye sisi tutakula mboga tu siku wiki. Hapo vita inatokeza. So, leo tu.
Hey, wow. So we've had a chance to hear what people have to say concerning the topic of discussion today, and people are informed because sababu watu wako na very valid reasons as to why gender-based violence imeweza kurise. We've even touched on it on the first bit of the session. Now maybe Dr. Gachohi, you can comment on what we have just watched.
Yes, I think I concur with quite the gentleman who is the one who was speaking last, and he had quite good issues, and I think something that he had not mentioned, and I think it's good to bring it, that the social media itself has its own share, a big percent of violence, and this is because I think just like a knife, which can be good and bad, this social media has helped us to either develop or even grow, and also even meet. Even those people who have relationships, some of them have met online. And but now the problem is that it, just like a knife, you can use it wrongly. And so it has also been where there is a lot of infidelity, or people have not been truthful when how they use their phone, their gadgets. So what happens is a lot of unfaithfulness or infidelity is happening through, and so what happens is people discover somehow is like you've been chatting, and sometimes it's not like people have even gone physical, but the issue of emotional cheating or what we are calling emotional infidelity. That happens when you find like somebody is so free and talking with somebody who is in the phone but cannot talk to the person who is physical.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, you find people are so intimate, even sharing. You get hungry and it's like you go to the other person. He has pissed me off. Yeah. I'm so pissed up, and it's like the other one wants to know what's the issue, and it's like I got a case like that. Okay, let me just give it briefly. On a young lady who was getting manipulated, let's say like abuse through social media, to the fact that now it just coming to me that you hear we are in a relationship, and you're like upset, and this man now goes and sets up another account with a different name. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now he was the guy here, but now in another account he's the therapist.
Oh, wow. So he's the one causing the problem?
Causing the problem and wants to know and tries now again. And it was such a betrayal of trust that it was almost like, I can't believe, because for that lady is like, you are psycho.
Yeah, you can't be the one causing.
You can't be here, we are here, like, and then after that, I'm talking to like somebody called Lian and saying, today, it was like, what happened? And then he says, forgive him. And it's like, you come again now to come and forgive him this way. So you can see now, what I'm saying, then social media has been used to the other side of the extreme. So what happens once you discover this is not true of the person? Either you confront them, and in the confrontation there could be either violence, whether abuse, verbal and all that, and sometimes goes physical. And even some of these cases where people have either killed one another or hurt one another is when they have discovered there is a bit of, infidelity using the phone. Yeah.
Oh, social media then is a tool that we need to be careful how we use it, especially for those who are in marriage and relationships. Be careful. Let it not be the reason why. It's a good tool because people are learning from it, but let it not be the reason why your marriage or your relationship ends. Ama is in trouble. Okay. Amazing. And now there's this particular statement I've had severally online. I've even had it physically, and I would like us to discuss it today. Ya kwamba marriage ni kama drama festival. Anakupiga kofi hapa, unarudisha pale, na mnaendelea mkisonga. Is there anything wrong with that statement? Because it has been used severally, it has been quoted severally, but I feel like ni kama inasema it's okay, it's normal, it's normalizing it. So what can we say about that statement?
No, this is now where we are going wrong even as a society, because we are normalizing things that are not normal. Why the violence? You realize that by the time we are so much against violence in school, that beating, the killing, the corporal punishment, why would we agree it, or would we think it's normal when grown-ups do that and they're supposed to be loving one another? I don't know, but that is something that has never entered in my mind, that my husband would now, maybe because we have a disagreement, we have some disagreement, the only thing we solve it is that way. And after that, it's normal. I don't know whether it will be normal. Unless now we see what actually triggered. How did we get this far? To the fact that we have not been able to talk, and the only thing that would solve whatever we were supposed to, we had conflicted about, is physical. In fact, I say, and this is important to realize, that violence does not solve anything. In fact, it compounds it. Because that happens anytime. I know of a friend who, I think she got shocked the first time she got slapped. And it's like she also had trauma. So that any time the husband was like getting agitated and all that, she's so scared and almost trembling, and it's like, what's wrong? I've not even touched you. And it's like she's now ready for any time for the slap. And she would even leave and go to the neighbors. And it's like, why are you escalating everything? I've not even beaten you and all that. But from that first one is like, now this can go that. And having grown up in a family where she had seen violence, she knew this is the way it is. Do you know they had, right now I thank God that God established them and they were able to know. The man had thought this is the only way a woman listens, because also he grew up in a family.
Yeah.
Although Christians, the man was a tyrant. And it's like he had the violence was like, one slap was like the woman listens.
Oh,
because if she's just talking, and she's not listening to you, and then the next time is like, she comes down and so, listen, this is what I'm saying and all that. And it's like, she comes down and after being in Pebere's word, it's like,
it's no more.
It was no more. So, and it's like, that's how we got. Now, for this one, physical is meaning the next time he'll kill you. And so for her, she was getting scared, and it was getting bad. So then they were able to talk and helped, and after that, now they realized, now this is not normal. And for her, so that is not normal. Because now getting scared every time when you have a conflict, now this is going to escalate, I'm going to be beaten and all that. And so she could not even talk because now I don't want to provoke him. Yes, whatever you are saying is okay. And she doesn't want even to give her voice because I don't want to irritate him, I don't want to make him angry because it's going to escalate. Now you can see it was already not functional. So for the marriage to be functional now, there was this one who was to be helped on issue of trauma. And there was also this one who had normalized how to
treat a woman.
So that's now how it was. So you can see what you're saying. It has to be the fact that it's not normal.
Let's start from that. It's not normal. Shouldn't be normalized.
People are. I think of all other institutions of marriage, or I mean, or marriage, or where people relate. Just like friendship. How do you become friends with people? You fight and why do we normalize that a relationship continues when people are fighting and violent with one another? They continue. Yet in a normal friendship, once it goes to that way, we see it has become toxic.
We need to.
And we just seem to be like, let go.
Okay.
So what makes us think this is normal? That you can be doing this and then we think, or like you slap, I slap you, and it's like that's the equation is balanced.
There's a problem. There's a big problem that needs to be addressed. And now you've talked about this couple who went for counseling and they got better. Now let's talk about that place of therapy and counseling and why it is very important for couples who are going through particular issues to seek counseling before it escalates to the point of the gender-based violence. How should one go about it when it comes to approaching therapy?
And I think the first thing is to know why you need it or what would make you need it. I want to say anytime you have this statement, you say this time, I don't know what made me do it.
I don't know why.
I don't even know why I said that.
Don't know where it came from.
I don't know where it came from.
That
is one of the telltale signs. That is one sign to show you need to understand. And I'm not saying that we have everything else figured out. But you see, I can't wake up today and I just find myself out screaming at the top of my voice. And I say, I don't know even why I did it. I don't even. The issue is this: the fear that should said what you call some fear or shivers down your spine. That anytime I'm not in control, and there is nothing as bad as when you find you're losing control.
You're not
like now your life or you're now becoming a wild horse. You see, you don't know when to stop, you don't know when to say gallop and all that. And anytime you can plunge down a cliff because you can't say stop.
You have no control whatsoever.
You have no control. So that time when you feel like, I think, I don't know why I said that. I don't know what made me slap you. I don't know. Please, that's the time you just need to understand. Because what happens? In psychology, we talk about the psychodynamic forces. I know I'm not trying to say like demonic forces. You know, when you hear the dynamic, you might think they look demonic. No, what we are saying is sometimes our past experiences have a way of being pushed into the unconscious. So that sometimes they just service, sometimes and it's like, you don't know what really made me. Let's say like this. You had one time you got scared or your brother terrorized you with a worm. and especially Dudu Manyoya. Okay? Dudu Manyoya. So what happens? You overcame it when you are young, and I mean, it was an incident that scared you and all that. But you know that is in you, unconscious.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That fear is still there?
It is still fear there. Now go and start working in your house like this, and you see a Dudu Manyoya, and you know you are now an adult. It can't eat you, it can't swallow you, it can't even eat your finger.
What?
And you are out there screaming, jumping up. If your friend, your husband is around, you're almost on top of him and scream, and he's like wondering, what is wrong?
You're a grown up.
What? And other name is like, no. And he's almost fainting. And you wonder, why did you do it?
Yeah.
Because those phobias are in our unconscious.
Oh.
That time when we got terrorized, I don't know, some of us have phobias that we know. We keep saying, I don't like any creeping things. Because maybe when you are young, you sat on Musafara ya Siafu. Some of us still remember those incidents where ukiwa mdogo, hujui nini iko inakula wewe, but it ate you all over, and you screamed until you came to know that ni Siafu. So today, you may find yourself any creeping thing looks like the Siafu, and it terrorizes you. So what I want to say is this: sometimes you may not understand, but those are hidden already in unconscious. And we say this, sometimes they have a way of seeping into the conscious, and then now, and they affect you. And sometimes you say, I don't know. But sometimes when you go in therapy, you can remember, oh, that time when I was in the dark, alone, and this is what I felt and all that. And all of a sudden, it's like, it seems to be like an adult that cannot even sleep with the lights off.
They just want some light somewhere.
Yeah, there must be light. And what's the problem? We have secured everything, but it has to do sometimes with something that happened, and you never came to term and realize, yes, it was like this because of that. That's now what we're saying. Therapy helps you to understand why that reaction that time was okay for that time, but for now, it is not justifiable, it's not reasonable, it's not even...
You need to overcome.
Yes.
You need to get past.
Yes, past. So you don't fear. You see, maybe like you got scared by a tall, dark man, and every other time you see a tall, and the fear comes back.
Yeah, you remember.
You even start going behind somebody. It's like,
yeah.
And it's, no, this is my brother. No, and all of a sudden it's like, why do I fear him?
Yeah.
Why am I scared of him? If you don't address that fear, you even be running away from yourself because you don't even know exactly. So we are saying that therapy all helps you to be aware. So when you are aware of why you are reacting, then you can be able to address and say, yes, that time I got scared, I was young, I didn't know about darkness, I didn't know, but right now I know. That's now how you address. Yes.
Wow. Okay. And should therapy be done collectively, like as a couple, or should it be individual, or a combination of all sessions?
It should be a combination in case, let's say there are issues that are personal to this lady, and they seem to be like she needs to, because you are not in that past. So you are trying to help her to this so that she is able to move on from where you are. Like, let's say, I've seen some couples who have married, and like one was, I think even it was there public, I'm trying to remember whether it was being aired, and was, the young man was saying, this is the young man or the lady, who was saying, like for the first year, they were not at all intimate. If there was a time that divorce was
imminent, is that time
that could have, when we say we have reasons for divorce, that was it. Why? Because this girl had been sexually abused when she was young, and somehow she was blamed for it. Where you are even beaten when you are about 3 years old, because you, and somehow it's like you are enticed, bring this, and the man locks the door. You are that miserable little girl of 3 or 4 years. You couldn't do much. This is a grown-up. And how would you have known that they lie? Do you see? Now, and you are blamed for it. Now, forward, God helps you. She even gets saved and all that, but never dealt with the trauma. So you're here married to a very nice gentleman, very gentle, not the rapist, not that
but
bully.
You're still stuck there.
But now you are stuck there. Every man hurts. I mean, every man is out to do, to exploit or to do anything. So she's here and she cannot be able to see the gentleman and you are good here, but when it comes to issues of bed, no, I don't think men are good. So it was, but this man loved the girl and said, I think, dear, you need to go for therapy. It's like, why the therapy and all? They said, no, yes, we are Christians, but you need somebody to take you through. And she was saying, I thank God that my husband was patient with me.
Wow.
And right now I know I can talk about it because I healed. I couldn't have talked about it. And I'm here. And she's now a champion of, those silent voices, as she says. And she's trying to have, it's okay, you can be healed and you can speak out and God helps you. So you don't have to say, oh, I was raped, it went out this. No. Through therapy, I'm saying you don't have to be a victim again, you don't have to be a perpetrator. There is the right way, and therapy helps us. You see, there is this case where somebody says you find at home there were these extremes. So what is happening? You find either this one comes to marriage and carries the back, what you call the trauma into marriage, and it's like, me and all that. So what happens? That's the way I am, and this, you take it or leave it. No, that is not. You never had a father, so you're looking for a father, and this man doesn't seem to really measure up because you want to be cuddled. The father you missed, and then this other one is missing a mother. You come and mess up the marriage.
Come looking for a mother
because
instead of a wife.
You never healed because we became perpetrated. All victims
of the environment that we grew up in. But now there's a choice for you to choose to become your authentic self and not become a product.
Don't keep saying, you understand me, this is the way I am.
This is how
when you realize that there are things people are questioning about, not that we should be like everybody else, but I'm saying, I can't keep saying, no, this is the way I am. What about if it is not helping me to function well in a relationship well? And it's also what we are calling disruptive, or is making it dysfunctional. Then why wouldn't we go out to make it functional?
It's possible.
Yes,
for you
it's
to
possible.
go out of your way.
Yes, and I'm saying anytime we don't have to be victims of our circumstances. Every other time excusing, this is the way I grew up, this is the way I was. There is always something we can seek better. I mean, is there a better way out?
To figure things out.
To figure out things, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. I think that, and also we should specify therapy is not just for married people or people in relationships, it's for everyone.
Yeah, that's everyone. In fact, I'm a career counselor.
Oh wow.
And people come to ask, do I go to do this course? Do I do this course and all that? That is counseling. Don't wait that. The problem we say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We think counseling is for what is broken.
It's not for what's broken.
And so sometimes we have tried to bring a better way when we hear about leadership coach and all that. When you hear saying, I'm going for
coaching.
That is still the same as counseling. Because
with a different name.
Yes, I can say I'm a career coach. Because somehow the people who come to me are not so dysfunctional that they cannot make a decision. It's only that they have very good, they have, what do you call it? They have options, very good options. But they don't know. They don't want to miss out on the best. So you see, I have been, I've this. I want to do engineering. I got an A. I have always wanted to do medicine, but now I've been called for engineering.
What do I do?
Both of them are good. And because they don't want to miss out, now you explore with them further through their interest, maybe their personality and all that, to know whether they fit career match on with the personality or with the values or interest. So from there they get the best. But now it's not that they were bad. So that's now where we have a problem. Even if today you come and tell me, I have this good friend of mine called John, and another one is called James, and they're all good guys.
Who do I?
Whom do I? And now each of them wants me to be their friends. Whom do I choose? And from there we explore with you what have been your, kama ugeandika ile factors unasema what the money was, 10 qualities. Top 10 qualities, dark, tall, dark and handsome. Anyway, those are the things I'd say they are containers. And sometimes we may not discuss a lot for containers, but content.
The content is what is most important.
Yes, content. If you tell me hiyo container, kuna wengi wana hiyo container, lakini content ndani
kuna
hata hiyo mkebe ya kibo, lakini ndani hakuna kibo.
Hakuna kibo.
Yes, hiyo unasema ako na 6 pack in one cube or 1 cube in 6 pack. Atakugonga utatokea dirisha.
Ulikuwa ngangana na container.
Ulikuwa unataka container yako nazo abs zako. Content haiko. Women are supposed to be battered, na kwa hivyo takogwa gumi unaangukia TV. Anyway, I'm not saying that's what should be, but I'm saying we should be more looking for all the qualities, but the inner quality, just like what Peter would say about a woman. The beauty comes from within. That quiet and gentle spirit that is over.
Wow.
Is priceless. Yes, because you may see, and what you see is not what you get.
True, that is very true. I think you've taken me back to a time when you were doing marriage classroom and you're talking about the negotiables and non-negotiables in marriage. And that's a whole other topic that maybe if God wills it, we're going to discuss, because it's very, very important. Sometimes we are priorities to places very wrong. Instead of focusing on what matters, now focus on the superficial. Zile tools are physical. We don't focus on what really matters. Now let us get some other voices or opinions of people outside there concerning the topic of today. Let us get to hear what they have to say, and then we'll be coming right back, okay?
Well, first I'll say it's due to ignorance. Because why beat somebody's child? Like, why cause violent to your partner? And first, when you guys got married or became a couple, you knew you will face challenges. Yeah, and second I'll say bad communication. As a couple, you should learn how to communicate to each other. Moja akikosea umwambie. And that I'll say lack of understanding.
Unyanyasaji wa kijinsia saa ingine kati ya bibi na bwana inatokana, saa ingine bwana ako na pesa na huyu mama hana pesa. Sasa anaweza dhurumiwa kwa sababu hana power. Sasa bwana anaweza fanya chochote, anaweza kuwa hata na mipango ya kando, na kwa sababu huyu mama hana power inabidi tu avumilie. Anabaki na watoto nyumbani, wanategemea huyo mzee. Sasa kama ningeulizwa ningesema wamama wawe at least mtu anajifanyia kazi, ndio hata kitu ikitokea asitegemee mzee sana. Kila mtu participate.
Na causes of gender violence, moja yayo ni high level of cost of living. Kuna kitu kama high cost of life, juu watu siku hizi maisha imefanya watu waende level yenye ni living yenye wawezadi kusustain na kuishi.
Wow, that's really nice. They've echoed everything that we've just talked about here. The major causes of gender-based violence, lack of finances. That means we are in the know. We have this knowledge. It's about us now taking the necessary measures to be able to undo the things that we did, the things that we normalized, to undo. To do this is abnormal. It shouldn't be tolerated. It shouldn't be embraced. Okay, we should do what is right. Okay, amazing. Now, when it comes to the upcoming generation that is coming right now, that is being nurtured, what can be done to ensure that gender-based violence wouldn't be an issue that will keep being talked about on end?
The issue is where we can help, as we say, in relationship, we try to define what actually relationship is. When we are talking about friendships or relationships, there are those dynamics that are, that makes a relationship a relationship. We can say we are in a relationship and there is nothing that there are no objectives in the relationship. There is nothing that we are forging together, and there is nothing that we are working together to make this relationship work. I think that is something that young people or this upcoming generation should be helped to understand. That is not just like the way you go and say, I need a gadget. You pass and get it. And sometimes it's like,
yeah.
Okay.
You don't know the use.
And then after that is like, I think I don't need it.
Yeah.
So I think we are taking relationship to be like something that you can acquire and dispose and all that, and not realizing it has a deeper, you can buy, let's say like, let's say I'm passing there and I need some earphones and I just go and get them. And then I realize, they are not serving me like I thought.
Yeah.
And discard.
Yeah, you throw them away.
And then go and buy others. Now, that is object relationships. And an object, because it has no feeling, it has nothing like itanichukia. Hata nikikuta pa niulize kwa nini hujanitumia for this long. It has not that human personal attachment. I can easily just neglect it, and go get another one that is functional, and this one will not ask me. You even bought me. Why did you buy me? So geniacha tu kwa shelf. Do you understand? Now, where we don't understand is this. The young people are acquiring relationships like it's just another gadget to get.
It's an object.
It's an object.
To dispose
That's why today I can say, you look good. Tomorrow I just see another one who looks better, and it's like, and I can even start comparing you with her or with him, and realize he has money, you don't have.
And
it's like, why can't I choose this one? And I leave you, and it's like, there's no feeling without. Like, I don't care whether you're hurt. And I think this is where, and that's why you find now these crimes of violence or whatever they are calling the love crimes is because of where this is not like object. You can't just leave me and move on like I was not. I had no feelings.
Yeah, true.
What about this relationship? I had given it my all. What about it is you?
Yes. My emotions.
In my emotions and all that. And not realizing that this cuts deep. Than the way we just interact with an object like a TV and AI and all that. We can even be saying, like I find sometimes when I'm doing something, chat GPT, and I tell, thank you, it says, oh, welcome. And sometimes I do thumbs up. But I know I'm trying to think it is human, but it's not. It is not. It's just trained to work. Even though I call it stupid, it will not just, I will not get a hand outside the computer and then I get a slap. It's just the fact that it doesn't have that part of the reaction. Now, when we deal with people like that in relationships, now that can go deeper. And that's why you find we are humans. And some of those things that affect us so badly are some of these are psychological emotions like shame, guilt, bitterness, and embarrassment, and all that. And those ones, whichever, and I tell people this is the problem with some of these things is that if I am hurt here, I'll go and I get a Panadol or I get a painkiller, I get something to cure. But what do you cure shame with? What about guilt? What about embarrassment, resentment? What is the cure for that? It isn't. So if I resent and I'm not getting help, if I am bitter and I'm not getting help, if I am angry and I'm not getting help, then there will be an outward reaction.
And you need to get that healing before it gets to that extreme.
Either will be turned inward towards. Because now it goes either to self-harm, self-destruction, or I take it out on you or the other person. And that's why you find crimes of these violent crimes of love. It's either I commit suicide or you say ntajiduga visu. The issue is this: I have had a relationship with you, you have left me. Why should I now harm myself? Because it can go this way, because there is that disappointment, there is the regret and all that. And with that, I can't bear it.
You're feeling the rejection
or
as well.
Now, you can't move on when you have left me here. It's either you also died. So that's now why we're saying, let's not take it like it's so normal. Like I can just say,
I'm done with you.
I'm done
Next.
with you.
Nasema siku hizi I'm moving on after 3 working days. I'm 3 business days.
Ati ni kuoga na kurudi. Sorry.
Sorry.
You're saying ati ni kuoga. Sasa hata si kuoga. I saw another one say that ni kutumia wipes. Sasa hata si lazima uoge. Kama uko na wipes, wipe na unarudi soko. But now the issue is this.
Yeah.
Ninarudi soko nikiwa namna gani? Am I healed? Do I know what didn't work?
Yeah.
Because I may even have a wound. What happens if that same wound is poked or pricked? My reaction will be like, he can't even understand. I just said only this. Is that what has made you so angry? Without knowing, there was, you see, if a relationship ended because people were not communicating, and then all of a sudden, one day you don't return my message or call. Tomorrow, I'll be so frantic. Because for me, it's already, I've gone to that gear. Naachwa. Now this person is already like the other one and all that. Now why did you call? I can't wait for the morning. I'm calling. Why didn't you call? Why didn't you answer my call? And it's like, I had even told you I'm on I'm on duty, night shift up to this time, and when I came, I realized you might have slept. I didn't want to wake you up. Oh, and then it's like, what really did I do? You don't even know where she has come from or he has come from. The problem is we are not healing, and so if we are not healed, then we are sure the other person becomes the unfortunate victim.
Very true.
Of what we have carried along.
Hurt people, hurt others.
Hurt others, true.
You cannot be a hurt person walking around and you think you're going to spread joy and happiness everywhere you go. That hurt is what you give people. So people should really take that bit of inner healing from your trauma very seriously. You need to put in the work. That issue of waiting for someone. And it's like, as
you say, we have a generation that does not want to own up, you know.
We're all victims.
Yes, we are all victims. we are all having trouble. You know, I like the way it's funny when somebody even can go up there. I have bipolar. I have this, and it's like we are owning, and it's like it's normal.
It should be a pass for me because I have that condition. So
so
I can do whatever.
Whichever way, and you take an identity and put it on yourself, and it's like you don't want to be asked, and you don't want to do anything about being bipolar. And I'm sorry to say, it's not one thing that is so good, but this is what happens when we get into extreme of emotions. Very easy to get to bipolar. And once we get to that, remember it is going to be a condition that is going for life. Some of these personality disorders, I didn't know. And I was telling some young people, I have been teaching psychology and issue of personality disorders and psychopathology. Like it is there and not here. Only now that I'm realizing what I used to talk about, bipolar, we are talking about someone narcissistic, we are talking about schizoid, we are talking about antisocial, and then these are the one borderline. It's like I can almost pinpoint and say, I don't go prescribing, but when we are talking and I can see, I can almost see now, borderline and all that. I never used to have people, I mean, long time, I don't know. This where you are doing self-harm, it was something I had never experienced. But right now, it's the order of the day. I get a young person and maybe from school, a teenager, and I'm supposed to be, and I see you holding like this, and one of the things I know. And so sometimes after I've continued a little bit and I just say, now will it be okay if I see your wrist? And it's like, why? Do you know they have gone even to the extent of cutting there?
What? There's like somewhere where it would be hard to see.
Yes, where you had to see all those inner things now that you can. And I'm saying the self-harm, you can see what is happening is because sometimes there are things we don't want to deal with. And so somehow we just, she tells me if I cut and I see the anger comes out. But what has triggered, you don't want to handle it. You don't want just to go there.
It's a way to escape rather than dealing
with it. And that's why we escape, we keep escaping. That's why we're taking drugs. That's why we're taking so many things to cover up. But it still remains.
It's still there, and it's going to affect us. Wow, okay. I will say that this has really been a wholesome conversation, and somehow it has trickled all the way back to us being willing to do the inner work na healing, okay? And I think it's something we've talked about severally, and I don't know if we're taking it with the weight that it deserves. Tulisema we take responsibility for our actions. Do not claim the victim mentality time and time again. Sawa sawa? Sometimes inaweza kaa ni poa because like it's a pass, I'm getting away with it, but to what extent? Okay, it's not going to help you in any way. Now let us get relation tips so that we can see what tips you're going to take away. It's like a brief summary of everything that we've discussed today. So watch it to put relation tips, and then we'll be coming back. Okay, maybe before we get relation tips, maybe we can talk about. You can give us a word of advice for people who are in relationships or marriages and they're going through gender-based violence, or there are signs and they can tell that wherever I am, I'm not okay. What can they do? You can do that using this camera right here.
Yes, I would want to say that let's not normalize any violence.
Yeah.
If we find like there is something that you realize this was not the way it used to be, but now it seems like, no, this was, it happened another time, don't normalize it. Don't think that it will change. Once you see the trend, it's possible that you get somebody who can help you understand the situation. Sometimes maybe don't rush to go to tell your parents, not sometimes the most, and that's what we are talking about, therapy.
Yeah, true.
And because I want to say, and I'm not really like, because I'm a counselor, I'm advocate for it, because I find it's more safer here than when you tell your parent or your relative and it goes out. Because why we fear most of the times to talk, and part of the stigma and the rest is where we don't want to hear somebody talking about it. We don't want it, somebody saying, this is what has happened, or this is, it doesn't help. So what you do is, it helps when somebody can help you to understand the situation and see how you can, make it better, other than just say, this is the way it is, because it is not going to be the way it is. Violence always, like addiction, goes from one level to another.
It doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop. Once it starts, unless now there is a reverse in the fact that somebody's been aware, this is how it's happening, and then there is like, let it not start again, or it happen again. And then we remove the triggers because we are aware of them. But if we assume it would never happen again, it will. So the best thing is, and I would want to say, please don't normalize it. Speak about it. If possible, if you can get somebody who can listen to you without any side, whether you must have provoked him, you must have, it is where now you are taken as a person who has a right to know what is right for herself and or for himself without being told, you're supposed to do this in a relationship. It is what, as an individual, as a person, you're supposed to be going through all experience without being told or taking the blame of the other person. That helps.
Wow, amazing. I hope we have picked that advice. And we said each and every time we have these shows, it's not for you to just listen and let it pass. No, you listen and you implement in your relationships, in your marriages, for it to work, because the goal is it could work. Okay, amazing. Now maybe for those who would like to reach you, Dr. Gachohi, how can they reach you?
Okay, I have my number, which is in the public. 0722 26 96 85.
You can take it one more time.
Yes, 0722 26 96 85. You can call me. Then if you need therapy, I'll tell you where we can meet and maybe what we can do. Beyond that, I believe that you can also get to hear me talk about relationships if you're in marriage, like in the marriage discourse. It is there in YouTube. We call it marriage discourses, where you make marriage thrive and not survive. Enjoy a relationship instead of enduring. And it will help you to know if you're in a relationship, if you have started enduring it and hoping it's going to get better, then you should not be hoping it will get better. Make sure that it's better, because you think it's going to be cured by marriage. No. So sometimes it is better to know why a relationship should break before it goes to marriage, if it's becoming you're just enjoying kuvumilia kuwa katika relationship. Yes. And I think that's more of what I would say. And maybe if you allow me, I wanted to say something about this book.
Yes, please.
Yes. Out of our interaction with young people and people also in marriage who are hurting and all that, we realize, I know we desire that marriages thrive and relationship are enjoyable. But there are those times when those marriages and even relationship become toxic and more harmful.
True.
And so sometimes you are there having a heartache and somebody wondering, do I ever heal? And with that, because of the many people that we have taken through, even through counseling and understanding and all that, now we wrote a book called From Heartache to Hope.
Wow.
That is finding healing after breakup. Because the best thing is living happily ever after. But sometimes it may not be so. But is that the end? Is that the fact that you have broken a relationship that will always be broken? Now, instead of kushikiria roho na cell tape na masking tape, always having heartbreak, we call it heart breakups, heart burns. This heart can heal and be as lovely as this, even though it was once broken. That is because there is what we have. People can hold you, and even when the Lord is there to help us, because beneath us are the everlasting arms. We will never. In fact, the Bible says the Lord is closer to the brokenhearted.
Very true.
So what happens? It's not that they remain broken. He mends the broken heart.
Wow.
And so I believe that even that broken heart in a relationship can be mended. And if you get my number and call me, I can tell you how you can get this book. It's a lovely book that will help you.
I know there was a time back then when we had this conversation of heartbreak, and just from the feedback that we got, we can tell that so many people are going through heartbreaks. So if you are in a position where you're trying to heal, people have come out of relationships broken, and they've come up with very scary terms. Mimi hata mambo ya marriage sitaki. Juzi kuna walikuwa sema marriage ni ya mafala.
That is, marriage is a scam. It's for scammers, those who have been scammed and have scammed. Or don't just become like a cat that sat on a hot stove and then after that said, I'll never sit even on a cold one. So
I wouldn't even try it.
Never try it. No. People have found love again. Because don't just generalize and say that man was a beast. Not all of them. They are not beasts. It's only when you really understand what actually, he may even have been a victim of trauma, as we are saying, and somehow he didn't know better. But when people now come to know themselves, they say, I was this way. I didn't know, but now I know I'm better.
Healing. Point of healing. Very, very important for you to receive healing. Now, maybe we can get did you know, okay? Relationships will be the last, relation tips will be the last thing that we look at, but let us look at did you know, to what fun fact you're going to use to start a conversation. We said that we need to practice our social interaction. Sawa sawa? Whether you're at work, whether uko nyumbani, figure out, maybe you can use this to start a conversation. Inasema doing something new together increases attraction and connection. Okay, I think this applies to people who are in a relationship and in marriage, doing something new together. You can try a hobby. Nimona, recently people are really doing pottery, a lot of pottery classes. People are doing art. Mnaenda tu mnachora hata kama ni figure sticks, but you know it's a nice experience. So that is an amazing tip to keep the fire burning. So somehow we have to work on our relationships for them to work. So that is one way you can do that, okay? Amazing. So with that as well, next week we're going to have the Prayer and Word Festival, the November Word and Prayer Festival. And we're praying for the mountain of business. It is very, very important, derived from Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18. Asema, but remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth. Hosted by Apostle John Kimani, 3rd to 9th November 2025. We'll have morning devotions from 5 a.m., lunch hour from 12:30 p.m. and we're going to have a 12 hours worship experience. That is Friday 7th from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. The location is Heaven's Gate Prayer Mountain and the Harvest Cathedral, as well as the Church Without Walls. It's an interdenominational meeting, free and open to all. Kwa wale ambao wako mbali wataweza kufika, will be live on MBCI TV and radio, so that you can also follow through. So business people, it's your time. So we're praying for the mountain of business. Now, usiseme, oh, business is not my calling. You're probably an employee somewhere. Okay, that business inakusaidia ku, get by, and probably you're called for business in future. So this is where you take up that particular mantle, and so that we can join together and pray for the mountain of business. Okay, amazing. So that is it for today's show. I trust and hope that it was very impactful for me. I've gotten the chance to learn so much, and we keep on insisting and emphasizing. Be open to learning and relearning. Be humble enough. We don't know everything. So always have that receptive heart to receive knowledge, so that you can get understanding and wisdom to navigate life. Kwa sababu maisha Maisha, it has a lot, okay? But you have to be willing to learn all these things so that you can be able to navigate it. Life is not as difficult if you're willing to learn. Sawa sawa, and it's an ongoing process. And if you can, if you're in a position to share, that's how you understand more and get other revelations. So share this, tell a friend to tell a friend, okay? So that we can all grow together. Tulisema growing is another important bit. When we started with resolutions, healthy relationships, and that is what we have been doing for the better part of this year. Hopefully, before the end of the year, we can get testimonials of how all those things that we have learned, you've implemented in your relationships, and you have had a chance to be transformed. Your relationships have been transformed, okay? Amazing. So now channel relationship tips by Joyce and Deso, okay? So that you can be able to get, summarized pointers that will be more effective even when it comes to sharing. But for now, enjoy the rest of your viewing, enjoy the rest of your day, and remember to be kind to whoever you meet. Sawa? Amazing. But for now, bye-bye. My name is Sylvia Wanja. Be blessed.
Hello and welcome to Real Asian Tips, and today we are talking about confronting gender-based violence. Number 1, educate yourself and others. Learn about the forms, causes and signs of gender-based violence. Share accurate information to challenge myths, stereotypes and victim-blaming attitudes. Encourage open discussions in schools, workplaces and communities. Number 2, speak up and challenge harmful behavior. Don't stay silent when witnessing harassment or abuse. Confront perpetrators safely or report incidents through proper channels. Support a culture that holds people accountable for violent or discriminatory behavior. Number 3, support survivors. Listen without judgment and believe their experiences. Respect their choices and confidentiality. Help them access support services like counseling, legal aid, or shelters. Number 4, promote equality and respect. Advocate for gender equality in relationships, workplaces, and communities. Encourage healthy masculinity and mutual respect. Model nonviolent communication and behavior in daily life. Number 5, engage in community and policy action. Join or support organizations working to end GBV. Promote awareness campaigns and community initiatives. Advocate for stronger laws, better enforcement, and survivor-centered policies. This has been Real Asian Tips, and my name is Joyce and Dr.